So this is day 2, coming to Little Tokyo, and this is Ichi Marukyu Kamiemas, and I guess it's a wrap. So I came out here, I got some excellent shots, and let's put the video together and see what magic we create. So
You are watching an iSee109 production. Grab some popcorn and enjoy the show.
A day in the life of a legend named Larry. I've got coincidences to talk about. Don't be scary. And because I saw an omen, you might think I'm joking, but I don't really care. It's just something that I noticed. Now this is how I do this when checking a grip. All these instances are spooky. Please don't trip. 10-9 Law 2 is how my car's license plate used to look. Pockets empty, no job in LA. It was time to book. I traveled overseas, arriving at a new country, hopped off the plane, got handed some house keys, settled down, and got started earning a salary. Come to find out, my birthday falls on a national holiday. 10-9 on my mind. I was fine, I thought, until I started waking at 10-9 on the dot. Multiple times, and then it hit me. These numbers keep coming to visit me. Even when I bought a train or a plane ticket, my seat would be in row 10 or 9, respectively. It was even my group number, which I thought was assigned randomly. Cut to that day at Addis Ababa University, learning Ethiopian history. I went to the bathroom on the second floor. Yep, you guessed it. 10-9 was written on the door. Even my cousin Anwar told me to connect with Inca spirits in Peru. He said, at Machu Picchu, ancestral spirits will greet you. I ascended Montaña Machu Picchu that morning around 8. Took a look around, enjoying the view. It was great. Checked my watch. It read 10:08. I knew the spirits were telling me to start my descent. So a minute later, I did, to stay within tradition. While in Havana, Cuba one night, I read about Ernesto Che Guevara de la Serna's life. Imagine the sight when I read that he was captured on the 8th of October and on 10-9 lost his life. In Saudi Arabia, hailed a cab, and when it came near, the license plate started with 10-9, and it had me feeling weird. If anything, I could say that this cab was rare, but I thought, nah, forget it, yo home's to Bel Air. I began to think these coincidences are signs. Why else did Nip's death coincide on the same week as the Prophet's rise? Peace be upon him. In other words, that same week, Muslims celebrated the Prophet's ascension to heaven. It's funny how every 7 days leading up, I was greeted by a new revelation. 28 days earlier, Ethiopians felt elated. That day, the 123rd anniversary of the Battle of Adwa was celebrated. 21 days earlier, and Ethiopian feelings turned to deflated. That day, Ethiopian airline Flight 302 was annihilated. 14 days earlier, I posted a picture of a goat to IG since it disrespected me by stepping on my new blue-laced Nike sneaks. I felt like bugging out from Do the Right Thing. 7 days earlier, wearing one sock on my right foot, I laid in a tent eating Oreos while reading a book. Then, one day, everything became clear. It was also that fateful day the world received news it didn't want to hear. On March 31st, for all of y'all in LA, but I was 11 hours ahead already into the next day. I awoke and checked IG to realize a friend who rarely posts photos had posted a photo to my surprise. I read the caption and began to cry. That was how I learned that Nip died. After learning his fate, I still had to drive to work, but I felt homesick, thousands of miles away, and I wanted to get back to LA really quick. The streets were empty except for me and this one truck. Can you believe this mofo cut me off? Like, what the? It was the start of a difficult week, but something told me to be easy. A calmness washed over me when I noticed that same truck's license plate read 1090. I knew then it was meant for me to see and be in that space at that time precisely. 7 days later, I kid you not, an omen appeared in the sky. There were chemtrails up there, don't ask me why. Overhead, in Oman's former capital, Nizwa, few planes fly overhead, if ever, so the sight of chemtrails above was irregular. It wasn't the lines that had me at a word loss, rather 'twas the sight of the lines forming a cross. Let me attempt to surmise. Stranger than fiction, his first name means God will rise. Coincidentally, him and Jesus dying at the age of 33 seems eerie. Oman borders Yemen, which was home to an ancient biblical kingdom from which his last name traces back to lands of Punt and Aksum. Oman, Yemen, Saudi Arabia, specifically Ethiopia and Eritrea, Habesha, once ruled by Queen of Sheba, Makeda. Moses seeing the burning bush led to him beginning the exodus of Israelites out of Egypt and into Canaan. 10:9, and that cross have me feeling ancient. Y'all will think I'm crazy if I tell you to leave LA, board planes, and relocate to Shashemane, Kumasi, or Mekele. But that's okay, because I am confident in what I say. Islam, Judaism, and Christianity aren't so different. I mean, come on. These religions were birthed from Abraham. Are you aware that Jesus is mentioned more than Mohammed in the Quran? Professor John Henrik Clarke sparked my thoughts on religiosity. He suggested putting religion down to increase spirituality. And like Rastafarians believe that Haile Selassie I was Yahshua bin Yosef's reincarnation, I believe that man was a highly spiritual being trapped in human form. As above, so below. Did you know? The same bus number Nip would take is the same number to which millions around the globe can relate. I'm talking about 108. Of course, I'm probably just famished, searching for meaning because I'm lost. But I'll be damned if anybody tells me he wasn't a boss. He actually demonstrated what to do, helped his people, and mastered knowledge of self. It's evident in his philosophy about gaining wealth. all money in. My colleague Rochelle said she didn't want to hear me talk about 10-9 anymore. She said 10 and 9 are everywhere, and I believed her, especially when I went to Japan's Apple store. There, every device was set to the same score, 10-9. However, when the first friend you make after the first international trip you take shares the same birthday, you wonder anyway. Plus, 1 week after posting that picture to IG, I saw that video of the fireman carrying Nip out on a gurney. Surprised to say the least when I noticed that he was wearing one sock on his left foot. I felt shook. 7 days before his body went limp, I was wearing one sock on my right foot, eating Oreos in my tent.
Ichimaru-kyu gamiemasu. It's a wrap for today. Ichimaru-kyu gamiemasu. Domo arigatou gozaimasu.
And just get into it. Buy a copy of my book at my website. I'd appreciate it. Domo arigatou gozaimasu.
I just didn't quit. That's the only distinguishing quality from me and probably whoever else going through this or went through this or is gonna go through this, is that I ain't quit.
How can you lose when you're doing you?
It's a marathon. You're at 109 right now.
October 9th, that's where it starts.
You see, it's the same old thing.